here. My name's Vanessa. I am a mother of 4. I've known Devon for 23 years. We've been married for 15 years. I'm a business coach, and I have an absolute love for life. And shall I say a little bit about why I came to you? Well,
Yes.
I think
Jump right in.
Miko was a definite person. One of these things is that I had in my mind that I needed a bit of help, but I didn't know how. I didn't know why life kept feeling like a block, or I couldn't see past these little eyes of mine. And one day I saw Miko on her Rise and Shine show, and I followed her quite a bit. And her smile was just like the thing that attracted me, but there was something more I wanted to know about what she did. And we got talking, and I was saying to her that, my business, I started off on my business, didn't I? I was saying to her that my business is not as prosperous as I know it should be. And I felt like every area of my life was feeling like I could only go so far. And then I joined Miko's program, the Miko Method, for 6 weeks, and it was the best 6 weeks of my life.
Oh my goodness, Vanessa. And like taking us back in time, like I could really feel how much pain you were in, like just mentally, emotionally, and physically. But at the same time, like I just saw so much potential within you. And I knew that you were so ready to unleash yourself, like I mentioned earlier. And I remember like when I first met you, actually saw a Facebook post that you made inside of a private Facebook group that we were both in doing the same business coaching with Shanda. And I just felt like you completely pour your heart out to seek support because you were just so ready. Like, hey, I need help. And I'm so like, please just give me anything to support me to like really unleash myself. And now listening to you, seeing you, you are just on this next level of like complete ease. Like you're so much more joyful, you're having so much more fun. And I know you have such a big heart, you have a huge family, and now it almost sounds like you're also like the work that you have done in these past 6 weeks is like bleeding into the connection in your family dynamics, and you are inspiring your husband to do his own transformation. So all of that is just so exciting. So let's dive right in. Tell us more about, going into the container, like where were you at? I know you told us
Yeah,
a little bit about like in terms of your business, but like how were you really feeling on a day-to-day basis back then?
I felt I could only describe it. I had 2 pictures. One was a picture of feeling like I was a hamster on a treadmill. And
Mhm.
before I've been running my business for 13 years, but before that, I was in the corporate world, and the feeling of the treadmill, that feeling was rolling out in my business, with relationships with people, relationships with my husband, my children. I just felt like I've got this energy to see people for their true selves, and I
Mhm.
felt like my vision was just diminishing, and I couldn't see. I felt helpless. I felt hopeless. I felt
Mhm.
like discouraged because, as you know, I'm a woman of God, and I'm like, scriptures are telling me this. I don't understand what this means to me anymore. And I actually got close to just giving up completely.
Mhm, mhm. And I could really sense that in that Facebook post that you share with us inside the Facebook group. And I loved how like we were able to support you into seeing like right from the get-go that your desire and your passion to support others with seeing the authentic self was actually a reflection of your own journey. Like you wanted that so badly for yourself to let your full authentic self to be seen, to be experienced by people. And I really got to see that and witness that unfolding in the 6 weeks journey with the group. And I just, before we go into more details, I want to acknowledge you for anyone listening. Inside of the 6 groups we did have a set time, and like Vanessa, you came in very last minute, and like you sourced that exact incident where the group set to like to have the 7 p.m. Pacific time, which like I totally get it. In London it was what, 2 a.m. in the middle of
Yeah,
the night. And I just love your commitment. Like you showed up I know you missed the first call, but like every single week following that, you woke up at 2 a.m. and joined this live. Like that's full on commitment. And like you really went all the way. And I just want to acknowledge you for that. So let's backtrack. The reason why I brought this up is because you didn't want almost so close to didn't joining us because you had a fear of even speaking up and sharing yourself in that small intimate group, even with like 5 other people. So tell us more about that and tell us how that was affecting you in business. And
let me backtrack to the decision making bit, because
okay.
I think it's important. So I think that I was making decisions, and I am, and it shows up for me, and I do it last minute. And I gave Miko this really nice, lovely line that, you know, I need to take 3 days, I need to pray, I need to do this, I had to look at a family therapist, I need to do this, and like Miko was so patient with me. I'm going to tell you, if you guys ever meet Miko, she is the most patient person. She gave me time, and I just saw that decision making was I was actually scared. I was actually scared to show myself and show how scared and vulnerable, which is why I'm here today, to show that vulnerability. Now, when I got into the container, we had this a timing incident, and I knew that was another reason why I could run away. There's another excuse. I can run away. I can avoid that one. I'll just drop out. And I just thought, you know what? Sometimes you just got to try. What you've been doing in your life has not worked. And there's a pattern of behavior that I followed, that it was like I was showing up scared. And I just thought, I'm going to take a stand for what I believe is true about me, is that I believe that I should have some help too. I started to say, right, I'm going to just turn up all the time. I know it was late hours of the morning. I'm going to do whatever needs to be done. And I really felt like even just turning up to the container was a big commitment, and something that I could break through, that I know that it's okay to speak in front of people. It's okay to use your voice. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Vanessa, I just cannot emphasize like how proud I have been every step along the way, like seeing you, because I know how difficult and challenging it was to even put yourself out there, like sharing your fully like your deepest, darkest pain, like with another person, like inside. It's, I mean, in a way, it was almost like public speaking. Like you are putting your entire authentic self on the line for people to see you, to feel you, to experience you. So like I want to know, because for some other people listening right now, like we have all kinds of limitations, things that scare us, things that hold us back. Like what was the thing for you that really got you to keep going? Like what was more important for you, that you were willing to like sit in the fire, to stand in things that scared you and made you uncomfortable, but you were doing it anyways? Like what was that thing that really like pulled you forward?
There were so many levels, and before I would say to you, Devron, the kids, people that I work with, but now I say me. And I there was one scripture that really kind of played out in my mind a lot, and it was, I think I might have mentioned it once, we love others like we love ourselves. And I found that I was playing this game where I would pour onto others but not myself, and I'd put others first before me. And so I felt like I was just serving without wanting, just giving, holding space for myself. And now I would say that I wanted more for life. I wanted to see myself in my fullest kind of authenticity. I wanted my husband foremost to experience. He's seen every side of me, but I wanted him to have a true connection, like not one that feels scared and runs away. I wanted my children to feel their mother. They feel that I'm engaged and connected with them, and not just kind of doing what I need to do because I need to do it. I like my way of being changed, and I could remember with that way of being, applying that I was joyful, and just thinking about the way I was being gave me so much energy to kind of move forward in a different way rather than doing things on my tick list. So yeah, it was, and then that from my friends and my family, the same thing. Those sets of people just pulled me forward and thinking about them.
And I just, in case you didn't know this, Vanessa, I always looked up to you in so many ways. Even though I was your coach, I was your mentor, like inside the container, but I looked up to you in so many ways. Like you have been this absolute, excuse my language, badass woman. Like you were, so like you showed up to be the best mother that you can be, the best wife that you can be, the best leader that you can be inside your business, the best CEO and the best role model for anyone watching you. Like that's a lot on your shoulders. But like you mentioned, like at the beginning, it was coming from a place of like, you didn't have anything to give because your cup was almost like empty. You were running on empty. But I witnessed you completely like turning the love and the attention, the energy back to yourself first, so that you were coming from a place of wholeness. You were coming from a place of overflow. And then you had so much more to offer, so much more to give. And you started to cultivate this like both and mentality where like you get to take care of yourself, you get to love yourself, and also be the best mom, and also be the best wife for everyone in your life. So tell us more. What do you feel in your own personal experience was your biggest breakthrough in these 6 weeks together with me and the group?
The biggest one was teaching myself, learning, should I say, from this experience that you can have it all. And I learned to actually, this is the one. I was going to say I learned to kind of slow down, but I did, but it was not secondary to actually feeling pain. So I came into this, and I've experienced a lot of trauma. And that trauma, I don't think I was able to work through it because I felt numb. So the experience of wanting to talk to strangers and say to them, this is me, was a really big, first of all, one of my biggest breakthroughs to use my voice in that way. But the underneath that, I learned how to feel pain. And that might sound like to anybody, why would you want to do that? And what I learned through this experience is that it's important to feel that pain and learn how to walk through it. Just sit in it and walk through it. And I honestly, I mean, times, Mika, I was like, this is just annoying. This is just so not. Why would people want to do this? Why do people want to feel pain? Why do they do that? It's just like doesn't make sense. But guys, if you ever experience Miko's work, again, she will stretch you if you show you want to be stretched, if you want to have change. She will go underneath, underneath, and underneath. And I found that those underneaths, there was a little girl crying out for love. She wanted to be cared for. She didn't know how to express herself. She didn't realize how much pain she had endured and how much things had built up. So I think that was the biggest breakthrough, learning how to sit in pain and actually learning to embrace my younger self and things that went on in my life that really led to trauma. So I feel like I can now deal with trauma differently. And when something pains or triggers me, I'm able to go back to the 6 weeks with you, Miko, and say, right, I know, I can hear your voice. And your patience and your kindness and your love and everything you did to just hold my hand. And I was in a group of people, but Miko would hold my hand. And I wondered how that would work, but she held my hand. She held 5 other hands. And I don't know, there was a power in that.
Vanessa, I just felt chills run down my whole body. And I thank you so much for shining light on that. And just from hearing you share this, I felt like you were absolutely coaching. You are such a powerful coach. And that tells me like I've done a good job is when I experience like my clients really integrating all of those coaching and now they are teaching other people how to do the same work. And everything that you said was spot on. Like yeah, why would anyone want to feel the pain? But the fact is that it's in there, regardless whether or not we want to feel it. Like it's in there, right? So like those triggers, those pain, like we could either be so disconnected from those trauma and the pain and just repress it all the way, or we can lean in and get intimate with it and sit in the fire and feel the pain, and that's what's going to open space for it to evaporate, to be released. And those that's actually like the layers peeling back, and that's when you were able to fully meet your little girl within, and that's what allowed you to access your joy, your playfulness, your carefreeness, your authentic self. You got to meet who you really are deep inside, and now you get to share that with people. So Vanessa, share with us really quickly, what were some things that you were able to experience that, I know like as mentioned at the beginning, you almost didn't join us because you had this conversation of like, I got this, I know I can do this on my own, or with your therapist or with the woman that you told me about. So like what now, looking back on hindsight, you've been through the process, what specific things or processes that you were able to experience by being in the group that you knew would never have otherwise worked if you were to do this on your own?
Okay, I think one of the most kind of okay, so it was the journaling. So being able to first of all make an appointment with myself
Mhm.
was never going to happen if I didn't join this group. I would never mind morning or evening, it would never happen. And I'm a woman that likes words, but to give myself not only just words of just looking at what I'm experiencing, what I'm creating in my life, also reflecting on where I had been and where I was journeying to. So the first one was the journaling process. The second one was having a buddy and having someone to kind of. So you didn't always take the lead. We took the lead by just seeing the reflections of our hearts through others, and having that experience was quite phenomenal for me, because what it made me realise is that I'm not alone. Whereas I came in before and I felt alone, so having that experience of being with someone and sharing their journey was really beautiful for me. Um, Also having coaching with you that once a week. Now that was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be up early to bring the children to school, but that was giving again another appointment for myself. But it was the best times I have spent in my life for a very long time, just pouring out love and receiving love, because I'm used to giving, so I wasn't used to receiving. And just being brave enough to talk and breathe and learn how to just experience myself was just a really, for me, an out of body experience, because I've never experienced having people support me. And like, yes, my husband does, my children do, but like this, one on one, but one with six, it was just a different experience for me. I could go on, and if you want me to, I can. But
Oh my goodness.
they're the main ones that I remember. I particularly like having this vision. I got lots of visions, and one of them was I had half of a butterfly transforming through some of the work you did with us. And
Mhm.
I saw the picture of a blue teal butterfly. And when I spoke to my coach, she was saying that was the voice, and I didn't know that the color of the voice was a blue sign.
Mhm.
And I didn't know that at the time, that was my breakthrough, that my voice was coming out. And I know I've got more to go, but like, I'm not scared doing this. This would frighten me. this, I wouldn't do this. Like I would be scripting this.
Oh my goodness. And I just love, Vanessa, that you showed up today in this beautiful royal blue, beautiful shirt. It's like I see that butterfly. I see that in you. And yeah, I have to acknowledge you for this. Like the fact that you're doing this with me right now, streaming live on Facebook, knowing that there's a huge audience watching you, but you are an absolute natural. Like you are just killing it right now, and everything is coming from your heart. It's so authentic. It's so beautiful and genuine to experience. And like you mentioned earlier, I could talk to you all day. I want to dive deep, like you mentioned. And I just love this work. I love experiencing people breaking through the shells, breaking through the limitations, and flying. Like you are soaring high right now, and you are just experiencing like this consistent joy that you get. Well, at least like even in those low moments, you know, you have the tools now to tap into this state of being that allows you to like be more at ease, more joyful, more present. And so tell us really quickly, as we're wrapping this up, how has your work in these 6 weeks, and also like I know you've been doing more powerful transformational work with HCL, like how has this work within yourself is impacting like people around you? Like how is that like bleeding into the connections and the relationship with people around you in your life?
Well, first of all, like my family, they've asked me, Mum, where have you got that energy from? Where's that energy? Like, I'm not tired anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I came in with a few health issues, and I'm not saying they're gone, but I just feel so like joyful about those, that I just consistently feel like this joy is like, it's not going down, it just keeps on going up. I thought I'm going to go back to that place where I first, I'm waiting for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Not one day have I not operated in this same spirit, and I feel like it's helping me connect with people. And I feel like if that's my authenticity, that as I'm joyful, as I'm playful, business seems to be quite a serious thing. And what it's made me realize is that I was hiding behind my coaching as a business person, because that's what I knew how to do back to front. I can see myself now helping leaders transform in this work, because I am just hooked on seeing transformations the way I've received it. So, yeah.
Mm, so beautiful. So, Vanessa, now of the work that you've done, you have all of the tools with you. What would you say are like your most exciting, like next step? What are you looking forward the most now?
I'm looking to, and it's probably the vision is, it's just there, but I would love to um, help people. Like I can see a cliff, and
Mm,
I can see a group of people coming up the cliff or the mountain, and I feel like something you shared at the beginning, or we shared offline, sorry, that you might be 2 steps ahead of somebody, but my marriage reflects unity. The fact that I've got 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, I feel like I'm a balanced person. um, my way of being, joyful, happy, trusting, free, feeling free, I think that will attract people to come on a journey, and just break them free from where their pains and their traumas. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to be doing business again, but it feels like I'm just going into a new zone and anything's possible.
oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. And let me just let you know this, you know, Vanessa, you're already doing it. You are already inspiring so many people and uplifting so many people, even though maybe you are not aware of it, but I see it. And you know, even what you're doing right now, being so willing and open to sharing your journey with us on this Facebook Live, like even if it's going to touch just one person, that's enough, right? Because that person, it's going to impact whoever is in the friend circle, and it's creating that ripple effect that's just going to be like so much bigger than we could ever see with our physical eyes. So, and here's another opportunity for you, anyone listening right now, if they're like so much resonating with everything that you've shared today, like if they catch themselves being in exactly the same shoes as you were, just a couple of weeks ago, if they feel like there's something in there that they're not being seen for who they really are, the authentic self, and they're dying to come out, but they're on the verge of it. Like, I'm scared. I don't know. Like, I don't want to invest money. Like, really connect to that version of Vanessa and speak into that. Speak into that person right now listening. Like, if you were never have taken this
Definitely.
leap, like, where would you be today?
Right, I'm going to say this for a fact. I knew that even spending the money doing this was connected to my self-worth. And I know that when I look back now, this 6 weeks, that was nothing. That was just the commitment part of it. It's not, to me, it wasn't a payment, it became commitment. It just like the energy of paying money, then, well, you have to do the work. You
Mhm.
have to be committed. Well, I was committed. I wanted to do the work. And then I realized the whole sort of thing about money was a deflector of myself. And
Mm.
I think that as I stand and open myself, and I was talking about you've, I'm a generous person, but one thing I'm learning is that if you really want to be in your true authentic self, you have to be also open to receive and give yourself what you need to um to to play this game of life.
Wow, Vanessa, you just spoke right into it. Investing in ourselves, yes, it's a reflection of self-worth. Like the moment you put down that payment, like, and you said yes to me, like you said yes to a program, like it wasn't cheap, like, it was a pretty high ticket, like investment, but it was also you saying to yourself, like, hey, I'm worth it. Like who
Yes,
I want to be, it's absolutely worth this money. Like my vision, my future, who I want to become, it's not less than this 1500 that I'm putting in. Money is not bigger than me. Money is not bigger than my dream. And you really stood firmly behind that every step along the way. And I just want to acknowledge you. And Vanessa, my heart is so full of love because I know all of the women that you are going to touch with your wisdom, your insight, your beautiful joy, your spirit, your essence, your presence. Like, oh my goodness, like so many women are going to be touched by you, and the families that are going to be transformed by you, and you get to keep me updated. I'm going to follow you every step along the way.
likewise with me, with you.
I'm going to watch you shine every step along the way, and trust me, I will be cheering you on, like every step, every journey that you take, like every step you take forward. And I cannot wait to see how much further you're going to go. Like, I know it's just up from here. So, and I want to say thank you so much for your bravery, your vulnerability, your courage, like all of the above, and for trusting me, trusting the group. And look at you now. Any last words you want to share with anyone as we wrap this up?
I'm one of these people that I trust up until a certain extent. So walking with you, I actually gave you my heart, I gave you my life, and it was quite I didn't know what I was going to come out and be, but you, I don't know, you said you meant I was coaching you, or you looked up to me, but there was
Mhm.
something that you did to me. You showed me what love looks like from a woman to a woman, and
Mhm.
knowing my journey, but from a woman to a woman, and a woman across the world, and on the internet, you it feels like you was in my office. It
Mm.
feels like you turned up all the time. You challenged us, you stretched us, you turned us upside down. I learned so much from this, and you have got one phenomenal piece of power that I've never seen in anybody. You're so small and petite, but so powerful. You kick. I don't really swear, but you do kick ass. You really do. And you're so loving in it too. You wouldn't even know that your ass has been kicked.
Oh my goodness, I love this. And Vanessa, I've been told I'm a firecracker.
You are. You
I'm a
definitely are.
dynamite.
You
Yeah.
are. Mm.
Oh, Vanessa, I just wish I can be in London right now, the UK, and just give you a hug. And I'll see you. I'll see you soon, someday in
You will. We
person.
will.
Yes.
Thank you
Oh,
so much for this
so
journey.
beautiful.
Sarah.
Thank
Bless
you,
you.
Vanessa.
Bless you.
Yeah. And everyone listening, we will be going live again this Friday. If you want to join us, me and Vanessa, and also the rest of the group, my clients will be doing a really fun mini dance party. If you want to like loosen up and join in on the fun, join us. It's really going to be fun. So Friday this week at 10:30,
Yeah.
Pacific. Yeah. So tune in and join in for the fun, and you get to see Vanessa again and her beautiful, beautiful smile. So thank you, Vanessa, and I
Thank
will
you.
see everyone soon. All
Bye bye.
right,
Bye bye.
bye. Okay, let me stop the recording.